Really long question coming in. This particular person says she is a divorcee with a grown-up son and she's Muslim. She remarried to a Muslim revert who has two grown-up daughters. They together bought a 3-room resale flat under both names, and it's not specified whether it's a joint tenancy or a tenancy in common, but she says that she is solely paying the mortgage. Her question is this: if she dies first, what happens if her husband wants to sell the house? Will her husband get his Faraid even though he did not pay a single cent? Or is there even a possibility that her husband will share any of his shares to her only son? Or if he died first, will she be selling the house and then will his two daughters and a converted Muslim brother also claim their Faraid share? Her question is there a way she can avoid all of this mess? Can she even write a will or a Wasiat that all of her property will go to her son? Well, this is a very, very tough question. The short answer is no. She cannot write a Wasiat to give everything to her son. If you all remember from our earlier videos, your Wasiat, you can only give away up to 33%, 1/3, to a beneficiary outside of Faraid. And so her son being within her Faraid beneficiaries cannot be included in the Wasiat because he is included in Faraid. So when we break this down a bit further, we look at number 1, the HDB flat is owned in 2 names. We don't know if it's joint tenancy or whether it's tenancy in common. But because both names are listed as owners, yes, both parties have ownership even though one party is paying the mortgage by herself. And so if it's a joint tenancy and she passes away, her husband will then inherit the house in full by passing Faraid, and when the husband passes away, her biological son does not get a share because he is a stepson to the new husband. And then the husband's 2 daughters and brother, who are also Muslim, will be part of his Faraid shares when the husband passes away. Is this a complicated case? Yes. What can this lady do to ensure that the interests of her son are also taken care of? So first step, she mentioned a bank account. If she can make that bank account into joint names, then the bank account will go in full to the son. And then another thing I would think about would be looking at the ownership of the HDB. If the ownership of the HDB is in joint tenancy and she doesn't want it to go fully to the husband, she may want to consider doing a tenancy in common where there are specified shares for each owner. For example, in some of our earlier videos, we mentioned a lady who had done a 90% share for herself and 10% share to her husband. Now, all this can absolutely be helped, of course, with a Wasiat and a letter of wishes where she can document down everything that she wants to be done and then have that discussion with the family. Because, for example, if she speaks to her stepdaughters and her stepdaughters can agree to sharing their share to their stepbrother, then by all means it can go ahead as long as there is agreement amongst all the Faraid beneficiaries. That's the key here. Are there more complicated stories? Yes. Can you send me your complicated stories? Yes, please. And I'll be happy to answer them in the series of Syed Afiq videos. My name is Afiq. We'll see you at the next one. Assalamualaikum.